Kitchen, we're going to be putting together some cheddar biscuits. And you know, this is a Friday, and there's going to be fish on tap. So because of that, we're going to make some cheddar biscuits because they're always good with fried fish. So I'm going to start with self-rising flour. That's what I have here. I'm going to add in 3 cups. And that's my typical amount. Okay, we got 1. Today I'm doing them just a little bit different. 2. And 3. Okay, we got 3 cups of self-rising flour. We're also going to add in just a pinch of baking soda because that's going to help with the rise and help them fluff up. Just about 1/4 of a teaspoon. We'll sprinkle that in and give all of that a good stir. Okay. We're also going to add in some very cold butter. And this is a 1/4 cup of butter. And I'll take a look at that. And if we need to add just a little bit more, we will. But I think we'll be just fine with the 1/4 cup. Now, what I'm going to do is that you can do this 2 ways. You can use a blending fork and press. And just press your butter all throughout your mix because you want all of that to get in with the flour. Now I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, I think I'm going to need more. So I'm going to add a little bit more butter. And I'm using my mandolin. If I can get you down a little more. Okay? Using the mandolin and just grating our butter. Okay. Now, that was about 3/4 of a stick. Okay, so let's get our butter mixed up. And to be honest with you, I really like using my hands because then I can feel where the butter is. And what I'm doing is that I'm picking up the flour and the butter and just rubbing it between my fingers until everything feels like little peas, little tiny peas. The butter is well coated. And you notice we haven't added any liquid, so I can work with this flour and not worry about overworking the flour at this point. If you're thinking that you might overwork it, that's going to happen after you've added the liquid. So the liquid's going to be the last thing we add to this mixture. So I've got our butter in there. I can still see nice pieces of butter. It's going to work nicely. All right, there we go. Now it takes a few minutes, only a few minutes. These are homemade cheddar biscuits. Now I don't know about you, but if you've been to some of the seafood restaurants, you may know that that's one of the things that they serve with their fish are cheddar biscuits that you can request. And they're usually quite tasty. And we're going to make them, like I said, homemade. We won't have to get any from anywhere other than our kitchen. And in fact, yours are probably going to be much better than the ones you find at the restaurant. Okay, so I'm going to take my hand and make a well in the center. Now, what we're going to do at this point is that I'm starting with about a teaspoon of obey. I'm going to mix that in. And I'm thinking I may need just a little bit more. So about 1.5 teaspoons of obey. And you can tell by how your flour looks. You should see a little bit of the obey in your flour. Not a lot, but you should see some. Okay, so we've got the obey in. I want a few chives in mine. So I have some dry chives. I'm going to sprinkle in a little bit of chives, but when I put them in, I'm going to do this because I want them to break up. I have a few that fell by the wayside, and then I'm going to take my hand and just kind of mix those up. They're going to be throughout our biscuits rather sporadically, but you know, they're going to add great flavor. So we got that going. We got the butter in. We've got the seasoning in. And we have the chives in. And now we're going to start to look at our cheddar. How much cheese do we want? So I'm thinking I'm going to start to use our cup that we had. I'm thinking we're probably going to need about 2 cups. And today, only because I had it in my freezer, I'm going to use extra sharp cheddar. I'm going to take my hands and just kind of mix that around because I want to see how much cheddar I have. And we're probably, like I said, going to need 2 cups of cheddar. You know, you keep your pantries prepared, and in this case, I had some grated cheddar cheese, extra sharp cheddar cheese. So I'm going to get all of that into the mixture. Now I hope you can see. You can see our cheddar. You can see our flour. You can see all of that. And I'm mixing that around. And I'm doing that now before I add the liquid. All right. So we got everything well covered. I've got a well in the bottom. And we're going to add about, starting with about 1 cup of milk. Using our same cup. This measures out to 1 cup. Exactly. So we're going to put in that first cup, and this is where I'm going to come back to our blending fork because we're going to start to blend our biscuits together to bring them together. That was 1 cup of milk, and I'm using milk this time instead of buttermilk. Now, if you have buttermilk, you can certainly do that, but I did not have any, and my grocery store didn't have any, and I'm going to add a 1/2 cup, about a 1/2 cup. And I just decided I'd try them with milk. I know you can certainly make buttermilk, and I could have done that, but I wanted to see what it was going to do with just milk, because sometimes that's what you have. And as a young home cook, you know, we want to keep it simple. All right, so I'm looking at this. It is well mixed. As you can see, it is well mixed. And we are going to just get this all ready. Hello, hello, hello. I see you're here with me today. I'm so glad that you're here. Now I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of flour out here on my counter because we're making those cheddar biscuits today. And I'm going to empty all of this out. And if we need to add more flour, then we'll do that. I missed you guys this past week, but we had to travel. And I'm glad to be home, glad to be back in the kitchen. And let me know what you all are doing for Friday. Hopefully it's a beautiful Friday. It certainly is beautiful here. We're supposed to have 70 degrees today. And I am just looking forward to a beautiful weekend. In fact, tomorrow is supposed to be close to 80. Can you believe that? Here we are, close to 80 already, and we haven't even passed Easter yet. Now, you know, with biscuits, we do not want to over mix. So I'm using my hands to press these out because I don't want to overwork them. I want them to be nice and light. Okay, now let me clean up a little bit and we'll be ready to come back. Okay. Now I have a little cup somewhere. If I can find him. I have a cup that I like to use. Let's see, where is he? Oh, here it is. I knew I had taken it out. And I'm just going to dip it in the flour a little bit, but it's just the right size for what we want to do. Now, so I'm going to cut straight down, cut and bring it out. I've got my pan here. It's been sprayed. And we're going to place these right here in the pan. And you know, cheddar bay biscuits, you don't want too large. So if you're going to use a cutter, then get a small to medium size. And then that way you know that your biscuit is not going to be excessively large. Straight down. And you know, your family's going to feel so special because of the fact that usually the only time they'll get these is at a restaurant. But you know what? We home cooks do those kind of things, and it's so much fun. Okay. Let's cut. Okay. Now I'm probably going to have a few extras, and what I'm going to do with those extras is that I'm actually going to put them in the freezer so that the next time I want some, I can just pull them out and I won't have to necessarily make them from scratch. And I'm going to try to make room for one more in there. There we go. Okay. There we go. We've got 3, 6, 9, 10. 10 biscuits. I've got 1, 2 that I'm going to put away for another day. I'm going to take all of this. We're going to work at it. We're not going to work it hard. Just going to press it together enough so that it will come together and we can make additional biscuits. Now, if it gets sticky, which is probably will, then just take your hand, get it in the flour, and press. Okay. There we go. My surface got a little sticky. That's all right. We're working. That's 5. Okay, 6. I think I'm going to get 7 biscuits that we'll be able to put aside, put them in the freezer, put them in a Ziploc freezer bag, and we will be able to work and get our biscuits together. So there's number 7. All right, got the biscuits all together. Let's rinse a little bit. Now, I'm going to set our oven on 400 and we're going to let them bake. I think they'll be good. So let's get them started. Okay, now that's going. We need a scraper so that we can clean up our surface, because you know that's important, and we want to be able to do this easily. So there we go. We got our surface all scraped up, all the little extra goodies that may be around. Our blending fork, get everything all nice and cleaned up. And like I said, my plan for tonight's dinner is to have some fried fish. So we're getting these cheddar biscuits ready to go with the fish. Now my trash can is right here, which is so convenient. I can just scrape everything right into the can. And let me get a Ziploc bag. And that's a Ziploc. Guess I better write on here what we have. We have cheddar biscuits. And today is March 29th. Okay, that's done. All right, so let's get them in. And I'm going to put them flat so that they'll be easy to store and easy for me to see. And doing it this way, I'll be able to just pull out however many I need. And this is a great way if you're going to prepare these in advance. If you know you've got fish coming up and you want to prepare the biscuits ahead of time, you can certainly do that. That's the one we worked on. So I've got the biscuits in the bag. I'm going to get as much air out of our bag as we can. So there we've got our bag with our biscuits, and they're going to be ready to go. Now, while we're waiting, let me take you over, because I'm also going to put some chicken noodle soup together. I'm going to move you. So come on over here with me. And got you over here at the best. I'm trying to get you at the best point where you can see what we're doing. All right, I'm going to be working with my crock pot, and I'm going to put it on. You know, always think about the fact that we love having our meals pretty much prepared, or at least you have prepped for them. And so we're prepping today for tonight's dinner, and also prepping for another night's meal, but it won't be tonight. Now, the chicken noodle soup, we're just going to get everything in the crock pot while our biscuits are heating. And I'm trying to get you at just the perfect angle. Now, I've done a lot of preparation to bring you over. Let's see, I think I'll take it out. That might be a little better. Okay, let's see. Now, I want you to look down in here. I have a rotisserie chicken that I needed to use. And so I thought, well, what better way to use it than to put it in the crock pot? And this way I could add all the beverage that I need, all the water that we need. I can add the seasonings that we need. And we're going to be adding to this a half of an onion. I'm going to sprinkle that in. Now, of course, if you have time, you can certainly take the time to saute the onions and the celery and the carrots. I don't have time to do that today, but we're also going to add celery. So we're adding about a cup each, a cup of onion, a cup of celery, and we're going to add some carrots. Now the carrots come in this little package, and they're like those little matchstick carrots. Well, they are the matchstick carrots that you get, and I'm going to add 1 cup of those as well. Now, like I said, I'm preparing this for another night, not tonight, because tonight is fish. But I want this to be in the refrigerator ready to go. So that's why we're working on this. Okay, now I know I'm going to need a little bit of bouillon. So I'm going to add about 2 teaspoons. And that's 1 heaping teaspoon of bouillon in, because we're going to need a little extra flavor down in there. And I'm hoping to add about 2 to 2.5 to 3 quarts of water. So let me get my quart container. I'm just going to use one of my soup containers. I lost it. Okay, I got a soup container. This is 1 quart. I have my filtered water. So I'm going to fill it up at least 2 times. I'm hoping I can get 2 quarts of water in. I may have to add water later, because once we start to add the noodles in later, then that's going to take up a lot of the liquid. Okay, that's 1. I love this Epic water filter. It filters the water very well. The water is delicious. Okay, that's 2. Let's see where it brings us. 2. And I think I'm going to try 1/2. Because I don't want it to, I do not want it to overflow. And you know what? Don't you love when those kind of things happen? And of course, they're going to happen live, because that's just the way it works. So we had a little spill, and that's okay, but it's water. So got that. And to be honest with you, I only have a teeny tiny bit that's on the floor. So let's get that. All right, there we go. And our 1/2. So I've left about a 1/2 inch in the crock pot, because I know things are going to start to cook down, and it will allow us to have more space. Now I will come back to this, because I'm going to break this chicken apart, and probably after about 3 to 4 hours, I'll take the chicken out and let the rest of the broth continue. But we're going to give it a good 4 hours of cooking, and this will actually cook for about 6 to 8 hours in total. What I'll do is that I'll take the chicken out, let it cool a few minutes, pull it apart, take the chicken pieces, put them back in, and at about an hour before I'm going to serve it, then I'll add the noodles in. So there we go. We got that started. Now we do need a bit of, let's see if we have any here. I've got a little bit of house seasoning here. Just a little. Okay. Okay. I think we're going to need more house seasoning. What about you? Okay. So I'll have to do it the regular way. I got pepper. I'm going to sprinkle a little pepper, about a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper in to start. And as always, if there are some special seasonings that you want in your soup, then to add those. Okay, I got that in. And I'll taste this along the way. I'm thinking I'm probably going to need a little extra garlic, but I don't want to add it yet because this is a garlic roasted chicken. So because of that, I know there's a lot of garlic that's already in it. So I'm just going to wait and go from there. Now, we're ready to get this into our crock pot. Let me make sure everything's dry over here. Okay. I'm so glad that was only water and not the entire crock pot. Just water. That makes it easy. The cleanup is easy. All right, so this is going in our crock pot. Ooh, yummy. And the top, let's get it on. And like I said, this is going to cook for 8 hours. All right, all's in. Got it on, and that's ready to go. So this is another night of dinner. Now let's see how our biscuits are in the process. They're in the oven, and they're cooking. And you know, it's just fun being able to sit here with you and to work in the kitchen. We had a situation. We lost one of our family members, and so I had to travel, had to be at a funeral last week. And so things have been a little tricky getting back into the routine, but you know what? We do what we have to do for family. So I'm thankful for that. So I'm going to clean up, and we'll see. We might have just enough time for you to be able to see those biscuits when they come out. Now, if we don't, then that means that I'm going to have to show you what they look like in the community tab. So let's play around with this. Let's get things cleaned up, get things put away. And I'm going to get the carrots, the cheese, because I still have another 2 cups of cheese that I will put back in the freezer because they're still pretty frozen. And I have milk. I need to get that wiped off. Got a little floury, but that's all right too. That's what it's all about. That's why we home cooks always have lots of water, clean water to work with. Okay, so let's get cleaned up. Now, I hope you're having an amazing day, and I certainly hope that your day is nice and warm, sunshiny, absolutely beautiful. I know some people are dealing with a lot of unusual weather, and if not weather, it's the fires. And so our earth is going through some things. So we're just going to do the best we can, and in making sure that we've done all that we can do to prep for our family. So let's get these in the refrigerator. All right, let's see how, I think I'm smelling something. I don't know if I'm smelling my biscuits. I hope not. I hope they're not burning. We don't want our biscuits to burn. Oh no, they're looking good. They're looking good. Okay. Now, when I went to the store the other day, boy, could I tell that the prices had changed. I dropped $100 before I could even finish the store. And typically, I can kind of play around with those numbers, but I was trying to buy for the month, and all the critical things that I need. And you'll be seeing that shop with me pretty soon. So I wanted you to just know prices have gone up significantly. And in our area, the gas has gone up as well. So when I had to fill up the car, it was like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. I try not to let my car get less than a half tank. And the reason for this, because I don't want to have to pay for the full tank if I don't have to. So we are just working a little bit and getting things done, okay? Now, so we've got just about everything cleaned up. And so I'm letting you know, keep your pantries well stocked, because the time may come, and this is the suggestion that is out. The suggestion is for you to keep your pantry at least 1 month in advance. Have everything in there that you need for the month. Now, the reason for that is because of the fact we already know that things are a little iffy in the grocery store, and we don't know what the next day is going to hold. So make sure that you have a well-stocked pantry. That's not just your kitchen pantry. That's your freezer. That's if you have an extra refrigerator, make sure it has what it needs. And you should have an extended pantry, a place where you're keeping your extra canned goods, your extra cereals, your extra juices. All of those things need to be in that extended pantry so that you're not out running to the grocery store every day. So I hope you are doing that, and I hope you're saving a little bit of money. Alrighty, we are just about cleaned up, other than everything that needs to be washed up anyway. Always remember to wipe off your containers. Now here my chives have gotten so full of flour, so I'm giving it a good clean. And of course, this waterproof marker, guess what? Not so waterproof. So I'm getting all that put into place. Okay. Now, everything's here. Got our biscuits ready to go in the freezer outside so that I'll have those ready to go another night. Now let's see what went on with our container here. I'll bring you over. We can put it back together because it looks like we had what I would call a costume malfunction. Only in this case, it was my water filter. Okay. Aha. So what I'm thinking is that, I don't know. Okay, now you turned the wrong way. And put this in. Snap it in. Okay. All right, she's back and she's ready to go. So our Epic water filter is ready. And I think what I did was to probably tip it just a little too much. We do that sometimes in a hurry. And fortunately, it's just water. So we've got that cleaned up as well. So, my friends, Let's peek at the biscuits and see how they're doing. Let me take you over here and see if I can. Yeah. All right. Oh, yeah. They are certainly getting nice and toasty. And I think what I'll do is to peek at one and see if I can. He's still a little soft. He's going to need about 10 more minutes before we can take him out. Another 10. Now, hello to all of you who are here with me. We're having a good time. We're just kind of playing in the kitchen and taking a moment to fix some Cheddar Bay biscuits for tonight, because tonight we are having some fried fish, and I wanted those restaurant style cheddar biscuits to go with it. And so we'll have some green beans, we'll have probably a little corn on the cob, and then we're going to have the Cheddar Bay biscuits on the side. Now, I know that you have been right here with me, and I appreciate your staying in the kitchen. Now, tomorrow is going to be fun, because tomorrow at 2 o'clock, you want to be tuned in to Ebony Ivy Thyme, because we're going to be making a green split pea soup. But we're also, two things we're going to do. We've got a grocery haul that is going to be a part of that, which includes a delivery and a pickup. And we're also going to visit at one of my best friend's kitchen. And we're going to take a look at her extended pantry. You're not going to want to miss that, because, you know, that's what we do. We learn from others. And, you know, we try to do a lot ourselves, but it's always fun to have someone else to learn from. So, I will show you those biscuits on the community page that we cooked together. And I hope you have an amazing weekend, that it is absolutely beautiful, that is warm, and that the sun is shining. And if it's not shining outside, let it shine right here, so that you're radiating all the good news for everyone else. I'll see you soon, right here in the kitchen of Ebony, Ivy, and Thyme. Whoa, whoa, whoa.